Hello and welcome to this week's YouTube video. Today I wanted to talk about the importance of varying temperature in your paintings. Seeing temperature before colour is one of the most useful things you can learn to do to help you improve your painting. What do I mean by temperature? Is it a warm colour or is it a cool colour? I am going to use this recent painting of a horse I did to help explain the points I will make in this video. Correct temperature is more important than correct colour. In fact, if you are correct in both your values and your temperature, you can get away with pushing your colour quite a bit. For this painting, I have used the colours of cadmium yellow light, yellow ochre light, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, burnt umber, ultramarine deep and titanium zinc white. Red is the warmest colour on my palette. Specifically, cadmium red is the warmest colour on my palette. Blue is the coolest. As colours move away from this red, they become cooler. Saturation of colour is not the same thing as temperature. For example, my cadmium yellow light is more saturated in colour than my yellow ochre light, but it is cooler in temperature. So work out what the warmest red is on your palette, and as you move further away from this, the cooler your colour becomes. Remember that we see temperature in relation to what is next to it. So a burnt umber will look warm when placed next to ultramarine deep, but it will look cooler when placed next to cadmium red. Once you have a good understanding of the temperatures on your palette, you need to identify the temperatures in your painting. Broadly speaking, I have a warm brown background and a cooler white-grey horse. I know for my background I am going to be using more of these colours on my palette in varying mixes. For my horse, I know I'm going to be using more of these cooler colours. Let's have a brief look at my palette. I'm going to mix up 3 colours to start me off. A rich black. This is an even mix of burnt umber and ultramarine deep. I am also going to mix up a warm orange. I am using cadmium red and yellow ochre light, my warmest yellow. The last colour I've mixed is a very dark Indian red/brown. I use cadmium red and ultramarine deep in equal measures. Notice how my rich black and my brown are mixed with a warm temperature and a cool temperature. This allows me to think about these colours in terms of temperature. If I want a warmer black, I add more burnt umber. If I want a cooler black, I add more blue. It is the same principle for my brown. If I add more red, it becomes more of a burgundy colour. If I use more blue, it goes more purple. My orange is warm. I should also mention value at this point. I am using my rich black and my brown to darken my colours. I am using either my orange, yellow or white to lighten my colours. So whilst you need to think of your palette in terms of temperature, you also need to bear in mind the value of your colours and mixes too. So I have established the background is warmer, my horse is cooler. I've mixed up some starting colours. What next? For a painting to be balanced and realistic, I need to ensure that there is a mix between warm and cool temperatures. A painting that has too many warm temperatures together will be muddy in appearance. A painting that has too many cool temperatures will be chalky in appearance. This simple rule will help you identify if you've gone wrong. So within my background, I need a variation of temperatures but of similar value. I am not really adjusting how light or dark it is, but I am adjusting how warm or cool my brown is. For example, this brown here is cooler than this brown here. So this brown will have more blue in it than this brown here. Once you start to see objects in terms of temperature, colour mixing will become easier. I know that this brown is heavier on the orange, so if I try adding this to burnt umber and it is too warm, I know I still have cadmium yellow light on my palette, which is a cooler yellow, and alizarin crimson, which is a cooler red. I can try those. It turns out that this colour was a mix of burnt umber, cadmium yellow light and alizarin crimson. For this area here, I added some rich black mixed with yellow ochre light. The yellow ochre light is enough to push my rich black towards a green, and I know that green is cooler than the orange brown I have used down here. I move across my whole background in this way, varying my temperatures between a warm brown and a cool brown. It is the same for my horse. Whilst the horse is cool against that warm brown, I still have a variety of temperatures in its coat. For example, this area is warmer than this area. Think about what temperatures are next to each other. I have a yellow-brown in this area down here, so I've made a cooler black purple for the horse's muzzle with alizarin crimson as my red. Yellow is warm, purple is cool, warm, cool. For these tricky greys, think about your palette in terms of yellow and purple. This is where I use my cadmium red and blue as part of my base colour. I mix in a good quantity of yellow ochre light and white. This gives me a grey that can be easily adjusted. I can add more yellow, burnt umber or orange to push it warmer, and I can add more purple and white to push it cooler. Remember, I have the choice of cadmium red and alizarin crimson for my purple. Alizarin crimson will give me a much cooler purple than cadmium red. You can see the shift in temperatures as I move across the painting. It is surprising how much yellow my cool areas still have mixed into them. This is the biggest error I see in my students' work. They push their cools too cool and forget that white is a cool temperature too. These warm areas are carrying a lot of yellow ochre light and cadmium red. I hope this video has helped you to see your own palette in terms of temperature and shown you how important it is for realistic painting. I hope you have found today's video useful. Please like and subscribe if you can, and check out my website sarahhallidayart.com, where you will find examples of my work and also details of online classes that I run. Thank you for watching, and see you for the next one.